Hello, everyone, and happy Monday. Hope you all are taking good care of yourselves, staying healthy, and hanging in as best you can. We are here again for the fourth of the Strengthen Your Postpartum Core workshop series this month. We started off early in the month where I was like, I guess there's something on the horizon. There's something interesting happening. And then by the end of the month, here we are, all quarantined and all doing our best to take care. So it's been a wild month. Thank you for showing up and being a part of this workshop series. Today, we're talking about how to expand your center. And it's kind of a metaphor for me because I've been working for well over a year on a course called Returning to Center. And it's an online postpartum recovery course all about reclaiming your center. So we started this month with talking about breathing. The second workshop that we did was on the pelvic floor. And last week we talked about the deep abdominal layer. So these are all part of your deep core, what I call your center. So today is a little more of a broad conversation about postpartum fitness, postpartum strength, and recovery after birth, and how you can use movement to heal. So I've created a list of principles, some things that I believe are really valuable and important when beginning your recovery journey. I think there's a lot of misinformation out there around recovery and what it takes and how we should just kind of push to get our pre-baby body back. And the truth is that there is no pre-baby body anymore. You have a baby, you've birthed, and therefore it's time to move on and look at this new form that you've transformed, that you've created. So for me, that really is number one, is just acknowledging this new form and taking a few moments every day to feel your gratitude, to feel for you what makes this new form so special, with what it does for you and how you can be grateful. So it's always nice to offer that, to cultivate that practice for yourself every day. It's a form of self-care and it's a form of healing. Next is just considering that part of your recovery process and your strengthening process is patience and providing yourself space and time to get back into the way of moving, the way of living that you will ultimately have no problem with and later on down the road. But giving yourself like a long chunk of time to really feel that it's safe to not have to do anything or be a specific way. I've been thinking a lot about estuaries, this place that Mother Earth offers us and offers nature, where ocean and river water flow one into the other, and this brackish water is this very fertile and incredibly rich, diverse place for so much life to grow and to proliferate. So this postpartum period to me feels a little bit like an estuary of time and space where there's not a lot of doing other than taking care of your little ones and taking care of yourself. And that doesn't have to be a lot of demands on what you do and how you do it. But when it comes to your moving and bringing movement back into your world, you're not going to stop moving no matter what, even in those early days. But when you start to bring in mindful movement in order to help nourish and heal your system back into a really strong integrated place, there's a few things that I'd like you to consider. One of the first things is flexion. And by that, I mean spinal flexion, where the front of the spine softens together, the back of the spine really lengthens and opens, and we create this almost like a fetal position or a soft curve inward on ourselves. So for so many months during pregnancy, there was a growing expansion and extension of the spine out and forward with a tremendous amount of strain on the back body and a tremendous amount of pressure forward into the front body. So as you can imagine, flexion is the opposite of that. It provides a deepening into the front body and rebalances out all that has happened during pregnancy. Flexion, however, I'm not referring to ab curls and doing a lot of aggressive energy inward. What I'm thinking about is more of this softening, allowing, deepening inward, as opposed to kind of a gripping and pulling inward, right? We don't need a lot of excess effort in our outward layers and more of the superficial layers of our musculature. We don't need them to be so aggressive. They've been doing a lot of work for a long time. So now it's up to the deeper layers of our body, our deep core layers, to reconnect and heal in that flexion process. So anytime you can find ways to rest in flexion, doing a child's pose if you're familiar with yoga, or just coming into fetal position on your side, or even just placing your hands on a chair and kind of curving your spine over in a gentle way. All those things can be really supportive and helpful. Your deep core, which is really what I'm talking about when I'm talking about postpartum recovery. Your deep core are the deep layers around your center. So we're talking about below the rib cage, below the pelvis, and everything in between. This area is filled with deep core muscle. These are smooth muscles as opposed to contractile muscles that will contract at will whenever we want them to. The deep, smooth muscle is actually breath-based. Those muscles will not contract just because we want them to. In fact, everything else will contract first before they will, the harder we try. So our effort needs to be breath-based, breath-centered. And so that's really the very first thing you're doing when you're reconnecting to your postpartum strength. When you're connecting to your deep core strength. I'm imagining relearning how to breathe. And everything stems from there. I have a brand new online course called Returning to Center, which is all about retraining your deep core center. That is about to launch, which is part of the reason I wanted to do this whole workshop series, was to share with you about the deep core. So those earlier workshops, please take a look at them if you haven't. They go into a little more depth on the anatomy and some exercises that help you to reconnect to those individual parts of your deep core. The online course goes even more into depth and has a rich amount of information in all forms that allow you to listen, to watch, to read, and to practice on your own timing. This is a self-paced course with tons of help from me along the way. And I'd be so happy to share more with you if you have questions, if you have thoughts on your unique experience. I've worked with so many birthing bodies, parents, mothers who have been going through this, and so I've heard so many of the various experiences and the possibilities for postpartum recovery. So I'm more than willing and happy to hear from you and to give any guidance that I can. But please also check out my course. The link is in my bio for all the information, and it will be dropping soon, around mid-April. I hope that you are taking deep breaths, and I hope that you are able to very gently wade into the waters of your postpartum journey and feel that you are supported, that you do have guides, you do have inner guides as well as outer guides like me and many other smart people who want to empower you and help you feel that you truly are the ones who know the answer to what your body needs. So keep breathing, flex softly and safely, and take a look at some of my deep core material, both on the course and on Instagram. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you soon.